Hey everybody, we're out here today looking to get our pig pen ready for pigs this spring. We have a few steps that I'm going to show you kind of what I'm doing to make sure that the pigs are secure in a safe pen. Earlier this year I'd cut down some scrub pines, but I'm going to show you a little bit about the debarking process of pine trees. It's fairly easy. I have a little straight blade, it's a pull blade, and it easily pulls the bark off the trees. Okay, so I've got everything set up here. I'm gonna get my gloves on and I'll show you my straight blade or my pull blade. I've got it right here. It's got two handles on it, and you can see that it's got a blade going across here, and that's a sharpened blade, and it'll pull the bark right off the trees. Okay, so I'm sitting on my log. I've got my pull blade here, and I'm just simply going to pull against the log. So you can see that it's easy to pull the bark off. I've done it to these logs already, so they are ready to go in the ground. So from there, once I have all the bark off and they've dried off, these have been drying for 4 months, I believe. So a lot of the water content is out of the logs. And so I use a 5-gallon bucket, and you can see that here. And it just has about halfway full with burnt motor oil. And I leave my logs in there for maybe a week. I can put 2 in at a time of the ones that aren't just huge logs. And you can see here that the oil is soaked up into the end grain. And so I'm hoping that will help the logs last a little longer and help them prevent rot from drawing up water from the soil over time. To get our posts in the ground, I've got my post hole diggers here, and they have been well used in this project. I'm going to show you down inside the hole. I don't know if you can see there, but that hole is 3 foot deep. So that's about as far as my post hole diggers will dig. So that's how far my posts are going in the ground. I'm going to go ahead and set this post in. I set the post in with the back of the post against the back of the hole opposite of where my line's running. So if my line is running down here to that post, I'm going to set this post on the back side of this hole. And that's to give the bottom of the post a really firm foundation, so that as the fence is pulling against the post, it has undisturbed ground around it. So I'm going to put this post in the ground. I'm going to put it in the back side of this hole, and then I'm going to pack this dirt in really well around it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this post in the ground, and we're just going to put in a little dirt at a time, maybe just a few inches, and pack it down so that we get a nice tight post in the ground. Okay, so our post is in the ground here. I'm just gonna take some of this dirt that I've dug up. I'm gonna crumble it into this hole. Now I've got some dirt in there, I'm just gonna take this pole that I have here and pack it down. Okay, this post is in the ground and ready for fence. You can see I can pull on this fence with all my might, or this post with all my might, and it's not moving. So we should be good to go. I've got these 2 posts here. This is going to be one of my gates. I'm also going to have a gate in the back. Okay, so We have our corner posts in, we're putting our line posts in, and like I said before, they're gonna be the T-posts that you see here. They're gonna hold our fence up along the line, and I'm gonna show you just how I put those in, and then we'll be able to get the fence up. So let's come over here. I don't know if you can see, but I've got right running along this line here, I've got just a piece of twine. I'll turn this way so we can get a better angle. So running along this line here, I've got a piece of twine at the bottom and a piece of twine at the top. And so you can see on this post here, I lined up the top with the top row of twine, and then the bottom down there with the bottom row of twine. I'm just going to do that again with another fence post, just so you can see what we're doing here. Okay, it's a little windy out here today. Hope you can hear me okay, but I'm just going to take this T-post with my notches here towards the inside, because my posts are going to be on the outside and my fence is going to be on the inside of these posts. So I'm just going to tamp it down with my fence post driver here at 10-foot intervals, and that should be more than enough to hold these short stretches of fence. Okay, so we just pound those in every 10-foot interval, and once we get those in, we'll start putting up the fence. Okay, now that we got several of the T-posts up, we've got our roll of field fence rolled out and stood up. So you can see here on our fence here, we've got it wrapped around. We've got a little bit of extra hanging off the end here, and that's okay. We're gonna staple to that post with some of our fence staples. Okay, so you can see here, just got a regular hammer, galvanized fence staples. These are 1.5 inch. You can see how these staples look. One side's a little longer than the other. They'll go in at an angle, and so they'll cross the grain and hold a little better. So I'm just going to tap these in, and we'll be ready to stretch our fence on the other side. All right, so this post is stapled, the fence is stapled to the post, so we'll be ready to go to the other end and stretch this fence. All right, so let's see if we can see this sit up here. All right, so at the back of my truck here, I've got just 2 ratchet straps tied to my hitch here, and then I've got them wrapped around a 2x6. Now I'm going to show you on the other side of this 2x6. You can see that there's nails all the way down so I just nail those nails in at an angle, and I attach that 2x6 to my field fence on one of the straight runs there, and wrap those ratchet straps around that 2x6, and I use my truck to pull it. This isn't the standard method that if a professional is putting in your fence, he probably wouldn't use this, but it's what I have and it works. So we'll tighten this fence up a little bit more, and then we'll be able to staple it to our corner post here. We'll do the same staples that we used on our first corner post, and then I'll show you how we attach the clips to our T-post here in the line to keep our fence sturdy. Okay, now that we have our fence stretched, we need to attach it to our T-posts here. We're going to do it with these clips. They're just some aluminum clips here. You basically attach it around the T-post here and onto the fence. Okay, so I know before I just kind of stuck these on here, and that was just to kind of hold it up temporarily. But what you're going to do, you're going to take this clip here and put it around your fence. And the other side is just going to loop around, just like that. Stick a screwdriver right there. They make a tool for this, which I don't have. So take my pair of pliers, bend that side up, and then I simply turn my screwdriver over. And that secures this fence to the T-post. Okay, so we got our gates today, so we're going to put those on our post. I'm going to go ahead and show you how we're going to mount this 4-foot gate post that we have. It's simply got a couple of pretty heavy-duty screws that the hinges sit on. So you can see here, this is the hinge post, and it just screws into the post here. So we take our drill and we drill a 1/2-inch hole and we screw this in. We're going to do the same thing up here, and I've already marked my location for that. So I'm going to get my drill and we'll go ahead and drill our hole for that. This is the screw and post for the top hinge. So I'll go ahead and we'll show you how that's mounted over here. The bottom, you want to make sure that when you are when you're setting your location for it, that it's high enough so that the bottom of the gate doesn't drag the ground, because that is not a adjustable hinge. It is welded to the gate, and the top is adjustable. So you have a little bit of leeway there, and I can show you how to adjust that in just a minute. So let's turn around here and we'll go ahead and get drilling. Okay, so once you get it started with your hand, you can go ahead and put your wrench on, or your pipe, whatever you decide to use, and you can twist it. And you can see that it's pretty easy with such a long wrench. It gives you a lot of leverage. All right, so we've got both of our posts in our post here. So we're going to get our gate. We're going to get our gate and put it on. Okay, so you can see here, this is our bottom hinge, and it's welded to the gate. And I left enough room for clearance here at the bottom. And then our top hinge here, it's adjustable. So we can loosen this nut here and we can move it up and down. So if we didn't get our hole just right for this top post, then we could adjust this hinge up or down. But it looks about right. We might adjust it down just a hair so that it catches that bottom lip there. So I really like the looks of our fence. We've got a great gate there. If you like this video, if you like my content, like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a great day.